Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So we're on to Game Week 5 transfer plans. In today's video I'll go over how I got on in Game Week 4, show you what my side looks like for Game Week 5, show you my updated exit rankings, my shortlists, the fixture ticker for the upcoming fixtures and which teams I think we should be targeting, a bit on who's going to be playing in midweek, and then go through what my transfer plans are for Game Week 5. So anyway, let's just jump into it. So first of all, let's go over how I got on in Game Week 4. So in goal I had Sanchez and Dubravka. I picked Sanchez, he got 1 less points than Dubravka, so I could have had Dubravka's extra 1 point. So Dubravka was actually minutes away from keeping a clean sheet at home against Liverpool, but Liverpool got a penalty and Mo Salah scored it. So for those that actually selected Dubravka to start, unlucky because you actually lost out on some clean sheet points. So I missed out on 1 point picking Sanchez instead of Dubravka, but I don't think I would have done it any different, even in hindsight, because I did think Liverpool would score at least 2 or 3 goals. So into defence, I've got Porro, Anderson and Senesi that started. Porro kept a clean sheet in a 3-0 win against West Ham. It was good to see that he got 90 minutes because of the game week before, he got 70 minutes. Then we got Anderson that was at home against Leeds and they kept a clean sheet in a 1-0 win. So we got clean sheet bonus, he got the DEFCON point, so he got an extra 2 points for that. And he also got 2 bonus points, so he got 10 points for this game week. Then we got Senesi that I bought this game week and he got 3 points. We won 2-1 against Brighton, he got himself DEFCON points, so he got an extra 2 points for that. But he got himself booked, so he lost a point from that. The reason I did buy Senesi is because he's really good for getting DEFCON points, and he's proven that straight away. I could have got the Crystal Palace defender that actually kept a clean sheet, so I have lost out a few points in this game week, but I think in the next few game weeks Senesi will claw them points back. And in game week 6 I do really want Senesi in my side while Crystal Palace have got Liverpool. Then first on my bench I had Williams. I did think that Nottingham Forest would actually have a manager bounce and actually maybe keep a clean sheet. That was proven wrong when they conceded 3 against Arsenal. He also picked up a yellow card, so he got 0 points. So I'm glad I made that transfer and got Senesi, else Williams would have started for me and got 0 points. And then third on my bench, I had Agbadu, who got DEFCON points, so he got 4 points. They lost 1-0 against Newcastle, so he didn't keep a clean sheet, but he got 4 points. So 2 players kept a clean sheet in Porro and Anderson. 2 players got DEFCON points in my starting 11 in Anderson and Senesi. And then I've got Agbadu on the bench that got DEFCON points. So it's good to see that I've got 3 players that are getting DEFCON points. That is one of the reasons I bought these players, because if they don't keep clean sheets, they're more likely to get DEFCON points and get an extra 2 points. And over the season, that should stack up pretty well. I'm not just going to buy defenders just because of that, but at 4.5, 4.6 million, these players can easily get a lot of points from that. And it's not as likely that players are going to get goals and assists from defence. Into midfield, and Salah got himself a late goal when they got a penalty against Burnley, and he took it away to make it 1-0, so he got a clean sheet bonus. And he also got an extra bonus point from scoring that penalty, because he wasn't expected to get bonus points until he scored that goal. Then the second player that I transferred in was Semenyo, and he got himself 13 points. He got himself a goal and assist in a 2-1 win, and he also got 3 bonus points from that. So I'm doing pretty well with my transfers. I got Salah last game week. Yes, he got injured and I had to sell him out, but he got himself a goal last game week, and then Semenyo, I brought him in this game week, and he's got himself a goal and assist. Then for the other 3 players in Rinders, Fernandez and Rodgers, they didn't do that well this game week, and they haven't done that well all season really. Rinders did well in game week 1 and a lot of people bought him, but I don't think he's done anything since really. Fernandez is getting DEFCON points and he got himself a penalty goal last game week, which was good for all the managers that captained him. I didn't captain him, so I'm a bit sour about that, but also I just don't think for 9 million he's doing what he should be doing. I'm not buying a 9 million midfielder to just be getting DEFCON points, and he's not really getting as forward as I want him to be. And he's got Chelsea next, and Rinders has got Arsenal next game, and then we've got Rodgers, and Aston Villa hasn't scored a goal this season. So how long can you keep having a 7 million asset and just pretending that he's got good fixtures so you can just keep him in your side? I think it's a bit of a fool's game to keep playing and trusting him. So all 3 of these players are testing my patience, but there is a few fires to put out, so I'm not too sure which ones I'm going to put out yet. Then to the forwards, and Pedro got himself an assist when Palmer came onto the pitch. He headed one down for Palmer to score it. So it was good to see that Pedro started after him playing for Brazil. He came off with 10 minutes left, but Chelsea have got 2 away games next week. They were away against Bayern Munich on Wednesday, and then they were away against Manchester United, so I think he was just resting him just for them. So I do think he'll play the full 90 in them too. So that brings me on to Mark Gu. He did travel with the squad, but he didn't get into the matchday side. I could easily sell him this game week because I'm not too happy about having him in my side. I was only buying him because I thought he'd stay at Sunderland. At Chelsea, using one of my slots isn't the best when I could have somebody like Cole Palmer into my side and he's blocking it. So he's on the potential chopping block very soon because he could easily drop down in price again. And then last of all, we've got Watkins, and as I said with Rodgers, I'm not happy with Aston Villa assets. They've not scored a goal yet, and I thought Watkins would be the guy that was scoring the goals. At 9 million for a forward, you don't want somebody not scoring in 4 game weeks. The only thing that keeps pulling me back from selling Watkins and Rodgers is the fact that they've got Sunderland and Burnley. He dropped in price again, so he's now at 8.8, so I've lost 0.2 million on him. So as you can see, I got 60 points, but I captained Salah, so that got me up to 69 points. His late penalty really did help me out. And that's 4 game weeks in a row where the highly owned captain has got something in the last minutes. So for the first game week of the season, I've hit over my target of 60 points. And with the 69 points, I've jumped up 500,000 in my ranking. So I'm now currently ranked at 3 million. So I've got consistent green arrows for the first 4 game weeks. So with that out of the way, let's have a look how my side looks for game week 5. I've currently got myself set up in a 4-4-2. I've currently got Porro on the bench who's away against Brighton. And the reason behind this is Brighton have scored in 3 of the 4 game weeks so far this season, so they could easily score another goal and Porro won't keep a clean sheet. I want to start Williams even though Nottingham Forest haven't been that great this season. They're away against Burnley. I kept Williams for these next 2 game weeks, so it'd be stupid for me to bench him. And then we've got Agbadu at home against Leeds, and I'm hoping I get the same outcome as Anderson last game week, where he keeps a clean sheet, get DEFCON points and gets bonus points as well. So my decision in defence was either to start Senesi at home against Newcastle, Anderson at home against Brentford, or Porro away against Brighton. And I'm currently favouring Senesi and Anderson. One of the reasons is because they're at home and Tottenham are away against Brighton. The second reason is they're more likely to get DEFCON points if they all concede. And then the third reason is Senesi and Anderson don't have a midweek fixture, but Porro's got a Champions League match, so they might be tied for the weekend. Then I've currently got Rinders on the bench away against Arsenal. Isn't the best of fixtures, but Man City did look good against Man United, so maybe they do score some goals and he does get involved. But the fact that Phil Foden started last game and did well, I'm worried about Rinders and where he'll play. And does he sit on the bench for one game, and what does that mean for his minutes? I've seen a lot of managers are selling Watkins, and I don't really blame them. He went down 0.1 million last night. But I think I'm going to keep the faith because Aston Villa can't just not keep scoring. They will start scoring again, and when they do, it'll be Watkins and Rodgers involved in them. Aston Villa have got Sunderland, Fulham, and then Burnley in the next 3, so I don't really think it's a really good ideal point to sell them. I know they've done rubbish and at the prices they're not delivering, but I can't really sit here and say they're not going to do well in the next 3. So for that reason, I think I'm going to keep them. Just a quick mention on midweek fixtures. I know a lot of managers are selling players, but I'm going to hold off until very late on and see what happens, because there could be an injury and that could make me change my plans. So we've got Sanchez, Salah, Pedro, Rinders, Porro and Gu that are all playing the Champions League this week. Then we've got Williams, Rodgers and Watkins that are playing in the Carabao Cup this midweek. Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa might rotate, so all 3 of them might not start. So they might view them fixtures as a chance to get some confidence. So my recommendation is to hold off on transfers as late as possible, just so you know what's happening with your side, because you might need to make a transfer and then one of these players get injured. Then the transfer that you made, you probably won't want to have done. Or then you'll be forced to make a -4 to make that transfer and get that player out as well. And you might have spent the budget on that other player that you wanted to invest on somebody else. So you might have to buy somebody else that's cheaper. I'm currently happy to take a price fall on some of these players like Gui just to get some more information. So now let's go over to my updated exit rankings. We've got Williams and Gui most at risk. This is because I plan to sell Williams in matchday 7 for Gabriel. I plan to sell Gui in matchday 6 for Haaland. And as you can see, Salah's dropped into me at risk, because in matchday 6 I do plan to sell him just so I can move Gui up to Haaland. So for this reason, Rodgers and Watkins are currently safe and not being sold, because my transfers are planned on somebody else. So here's the updated fixture ticker, and as you can see for Nottingham Forest, they've got Burnley and Sunderland in the next 2, so I do really want to keep Williams. But after that, they've got Newcastle, Chelsea, Bournemouth, Man United, Leeds, and then Liverpool, so I don't really want to keep him. And with Postecoglou as manager, I don't think they'll keep many clean sheets. So I do think that's the perfect opportunity to go and buy an Arsenal defender, and I think I'll get Gabriel because he's more assured of playing. And then in game week 6, I plan to sell Salah and Gui. So Liverpool at home against Everton in game week 5, so I want to keep him for that. After that, they've got Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Man United, Brentford, Aston Villa, City, then Nottingham Forest, so I don't think I should really be keeping him. And when I've sold Salah, I'll be able to upgrade Gui up all the way up to Haaland. So I'd have Haaland at home against Burnley, away against Brentford, at home against Everton, Aston Villa, then Bournemouth. My planned transfer target to replace Salah is Paqueta, but we'll see if I've got the funds for that. If I haven't, then it may be somebody else, but we'll cross that bridge next game week. So here's my updated shortlist, and as you can see, Raya's new to the list. If I was going out and buying a goalkeeper this game week, it'd be Raya that I'll be buying. They've got Man City this game week, but the fixtures do turn for them. I'm currently happy having Sanchez as my goalkeeper, and I don't think it's worth a transfer for me. Then new to my defender shortlist is Gabriel, and he's jumped to the number 1 on my list. If I was going out and buying a defender, it'd be Gabriel. Again, like Raya, his fixture isn't the best in game week 5, but I think moving forward, he will be the player that everybody wants to buy. So I'd get him early if I was going for a defender this game week, because I'm sure his price will go up in the next few game weeks. Then if I was buying a midfielder, it would be Cole Palmer that I'll be buying this game week. I haven't added Semenyo to this list because he's in my side, so he'll be in there. Then as I've mentioned, in game week 6, I could potentially be buying Paqueta, so he's on my list and he's new. Then the other 2 new players are Hee-chan and Saka. Ideally, I want to buy Paqueta in game week 6, but I might be priced out. If he goes up 0.1 million, I might not have enough funds to buy him. If I can't afford Paqueta and I still want Gabriel, then I might buy Hechan. He's not exactly shined this season so far, but I think the fixtures are still good for Wolves, so he could be a good option. Then I've put Saka and I've put him with a red arrow, and it's only because I don't think he'll be fit for a few game weeks, but I am keeping my eye on him. And when he is fit, I think I will potentially be looking to buy him. Because from game week 7, they've got the best fixtures. Then new to my shortlist is Haaland and Gyökeres. As I've mentioned with the other Arsenal assets from game week 6, the fixtures are really good, so Gyökeres could be a really good option. You just have to be mindful moving forward. If you want Raya and Gabriel and Saka, then you can't buy Gyökeres, so you only can buy 3 of them. So make sure you plan which ones you want to buy, so you're not maxing out your 3 players from them, and then you want the 4th player from them and you can't buy him. Mateta's dropped to the bottom of my shortlist just because they've got a good fixture this game week, so I won't be selling in this game week, but I'm not too sure if I'll be buying him for the future. With Sarr out injured, I'm not too sure how much he'll get supplied, with Eze leaving as well. And I think if I was buying a striker for this game week, it would potentially be Larson or Wood. The fixtures for the next 2 game weeks were really good for both of them, but I think I'd rather spend the money on Haaland or Gyökeres, but obviously this comes with a price. The slight worry with Larson is he was injured for the last game week, so I'm not too sure when he'll be back fit. And the worry with Wood is there's a new manager. I'm not too sure if he'll get the best out of him because the 3-0 loss against Arsenal didn't really show much for him. So lastly, let's go back over to my team, and I do plan to roll my transfer, so I have 2 transfers in next game week. We'll see what happens with the midweek fixtures, and if I get an injury, maybe it'll force me into a move. I'll do a deadline decisions team selection video on Friday, so come back for that. We'll see if I'm planning to make a transfer or not. Anyway, this video has gone on long enough. Signing off, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.